Number 15, Prague Zoo, Prague, Czechia. Another European zoo worth keeping in mind on your travels is the impressive Prague Zoo in the Czech Republic. Officially called the Prague Zoological Garden, the zoo opened in 1931. Prague Zoo now occupies 140 acres and is home to roughly 5,000 animals. Among 676 species, 132 species are classified as threatened. Visit and you'll get to see Galapagos turtles, western lowland gorillas, polar bears, and much more. Number 14, Laurel Park, Tenerife, Spain. Laurel Park on the island of Tenerife has grown considerably beyond the name. When the park opened in 1972, its purpose was to be a parrot sanctuary, but today it's a 33-acre zoo with mammals, reptiles, and marine life. The opportunity to see jaguars, hippos, sloths, and much more has made it one of the most popular attractions on the Canary Islands. One word of warning, though, is the Laurel Park does have an orca enclosure, which has earned the zoo some controversy and may affect your personal decision to visit. Number 13, Welsh Mountain Zoo, North Wales, UK. Up on the north coast of Wales lies the Welsh Mountain Zoo, also known as the National Zoo of Wales. It's the oldest zoo in the country and started out as a small family business in 1963. Now the Welsh Mountain Zoo may not be very big, covering just 37 acres, but it does boast some gorgeous scenery as it looks out to the coast. More importantly, among its 140 different species, you'll encounter snow leopards, Sumerian tigers, American alligators, and Burmese pythons. There's even the possibility of animal encounters like feeding the resident penguins and meerkats. Number 12, Omahas Henry Doorly Zoo, Omaha, USA. Those looking for the largest zoo in the world should visit Omaha's Henry Doorly Zoo. If you factor both its land area and the number of species there, the Nebraskan Zoo takes the lead. Henry Doorly Zoo may only take up a modest 130 acres, but that land is home to well over 900 species of animals. Originally known as Riverview Park Zoo, when it first opened in 1894, the zoo has grown to become a national leader in wildlife conservation and research. Guests won't have any trouble finding tigers, lions, elephants, and rhinos here, although you should also make a trip to the aquarium to see sea turtles and sharks up close. Number 11, Toronto Zoo, Toronto, Canada. Toronto Zoo is not only the largest zoo in Canada, but it's also one with an incredible amount of animals from all across the world. Toronto Zoo's massive 710 acres is separated into 7 distinct geographic regions, which reflect different continents and environments found on Earth. Not only are these regions used to group the animal enclosures, but they're also used to provide naturalized environments for the creatures. This includes one called the Canadian Domain, where you can see classic native animals like grizzly bears, American moose, and Canada lynx. All told, Toronto Zoo is home to as many as 500 species, 5,000 animals, far cry from where it started back in 1974. Number 10, Wellington Zoo, Wellington, New Zealand. What started in 1906 was the gift of a single young lion to the city of Wellington has turned into Wellington Zoo, New Zealand's most beloved zoo. Since its origin, Wellington Zoo has expanded to become home to over 500 animals. Conservation is a large part of the work done here at New Zealand's first zoo. The zoo has been known for its resident chimpanzees, but you'll also find cheetahs, little blue penguins, and of course kiwi birds, the national icon of New Zealand. Number 9, Chester Zoo, England, UK. In the United Kingdom, Chester Zoo is the country's most popular wildlife attraction, and with good reason. The zoo covers 120 acres of land to the north of the English city, making it one of the largest in the UK, which opened in 1931. Visitors to the Chester Zoo have over 35,000 animals to try to find, including some incredible exotic creatures like capybaras, babirussas, and Andean bears. Chester Zoo actually made news recently when a rare black rhino was born there, which is no doubt another reason to visit. Number 8, Taronga Zoo, Sydney, Australia. There are several major zoos around Australia, but the largest zoo there is Taronga Zoo in Sydney. Covering 69 acres opposite the city center of Sydney, Taronga Zoo enjoys some great waterfront views of the city. The zoo was co-founded in 1916 and today is home to 350 species and over 4,000 animals across its 8 zoogeographic regions. As to be expected, you'll see loads of native Australian wildlife here, including tree kangaroos, koalas, and emus. But the zoo also features some incredibly rare creatures from around the world, like sun bears and endangered Sumerian tigers. Number 7, Zoologischer Berlin, Germany. When it comes to impressive historic zoos, it's hard to beat the Zoologischer Garten of Berlin. The zoo was opened in 1844 and is a great source of pride for Berlin locals. The Berlin Zoo isn't just a heritage site, it's also the world's biggest zoo when measured by numbers of animals. There are a whopping 20,200 animals and 1,380 different species at the zoo. On its 86 acres, you can discover a variety of animals which include polar bears, giant pandas, lemurs, and many other kinds of primates. Number 6, National Zoological Gardens, Pretoria, South Africa. The largest and most well-known zoo on the continent of Africa is the National Zoological Garden of South Africa. The zoo has been operated since 1899 with 210 acres. The National Zoological Garden of South Africa boasts more than 9,000 animals from over 600 species, including an aquarium of reptile park. African penguins, African savanna elephants, hippopotamuses, and even endangered okapi can be seen here. You'll be hard-pressed to find anywhere with a better collection of animals from Africa, while there are also creatures from Asia, Australia, and the Americas. Number 5, Beijing Zoo, Beijing, China. Found in Beijing, this is the largest and oldest zoo in China. The zoo was founded in 1906 and is now home to over 450 species of land animals, as well as more than 500 species of marine life in its aquarium. Beijing Zoo spans more than 200 acres, has been designed with classical Chinese gardens in mind. The zoo has a strong focus on rare animals native to China. Most famously is giant panda population. Other species you can see include red pandas and Sichuan golden hair monkeys, while there are also many creatures from beyond its borders. Number 4, Singapore Zoo, Singapore. With a stellar reputation, Singapore Zoo is another international zoo that animals lovers should aim to visit if they can. Hidden away among the forest in the center of this small Southeast Asian nation, visiting the zoo is a world-class experience. Singapore Zoo is spread over 69 acres, is home to 2,800 animals and 315 species, making it a bit smaller than the other zoos mentioned here. But what it lacks in size, it makes up for in atmosphere and exhibits. Within its 11 zones, you'll encounter animals from all over, including orangutans, lemurs, sloths, as well as kangaroos, lions, and zebras. Number 3, Bronx Zoo, New York City, USA. While there are quite a few zoos in New York, there's little doubt that the Bronx Zoo is at the top of the list. The zoo is one of the largest in the United States and covers 265 acres with the Bronx River flowing right through it. The Bronx Zoo opened in 1899 and established the first modern zoo animal hospital in 1916, indicating its long-running passion for animal welfare and conservation. Exhibits showcase the zoo's population of over 6,000 animals, which represent more than 700 species. Exploring the zoo, you'll have the opportunity to spot animals from all over the world, from tigers, lions, and gorillas to smaller critters like lemurs and reptiles. Number 2, San Diego Zoo, San Diego, United States. One of the best zoos in the U.S. and possibly the world's best zoo, or at least the most famous, is the San Diego Zoo in California. Since opening in 1916, the San Diego Zoo has grown to become the most visited zoo in the country and a main attraction of the city. The zoo is divided up into 8 different exhibits themed around geography and habitat. The exhibits are home to over 3,500 animals and 650 species. One of the better-known exhibits here in the Outback exhibit, which is home to creatures from Australia like koalas and Tasmanian devils. But there are also exhibits on animals from other places like Africa and Asia and interesting ways to get about, like the safari aerial tram. And number 1, Tiergarten, Schwanbrunn, Vienna, Austria. If you want to visit the oldest zoo in the world that has been continuously operating since 1752, head to the incredible Tiergarten Schwanbrunn of Vienna. Also known as the Vienna Zoo, this historic institution is found within the beauty grounds of the ever-popular Schwanbrunn Palace. Initially created as the Imperial Menagerie, Tiergarten Schwanbrunn is now focused on conservation and education. Like its grand surroundings, the zoo still uses several elegant Baroque buildings, making this quite a beautiful zoo to visit. Among the different animals you can see here in Vienna, an oriental small-clawed otters, Arctic wolves, elephants, and Siberian tigers.
Please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button or click on the frog icon on the video. Don't forget to click the bell to get notified of our future videos. And of course, please click on the thumbs up.
And remember, stay young and have fun.